be beginning the mixed cloth match in exactly 7 minutes. So everybody get ready, get warmed up, get excited, get hyped. This is the bronze medal match for the mixed cloth division in exactly 7 minutes. So teams, you can go on the court whenever you want to warm up, start throwing balls at each other. Audience, you can get the energy up. You can celebrate these people, celebrate each other in a great event. Again, we will be starting in about 6 minutes. Australia, I'm gonna need to hear more from you. Come on. Yeah.
Hello and welcome back to the WDBF World Championships here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. My name is Elisa Westman.
And I am Greg Whitehouse.
And we have the first bronze medal game of the match here for you coming up in just a few moments. It is the USA versus Australia mixed cloth game. Greg, have you had a chance to watch either of these teams compete thus far in the tournament?
Yep, I've watched both of them. I don't believe they've crossed paths just yet. So this is the first time they will be playing. We're obviously on that day 4 now of that 5-day tournament. We're on to the bronze medal matches for today. And like you've said, starting off with that USA versus Australia mixed. Both teams very strong. To see both of these teams obviously get this far, both knocked out in the semi-finals. Obviously that's why they meet here today. But I'm looking forward to it. We've seen some great dodgeball from both sides.
Absolutely. To get to where they are today, Australia faced off against Great Britain yesterday. A very close nail-biter game. Same with the US versus Austria, which is why they are facing off here today. Some of these faces may have faced off against each other in the tournament thus far, since there is some overlap in the cloth teams. For example, several of the men in the US are also playing on the men's cloth team that will be facing off later today, so do stay tuned for that game as well. So these are, familiar faces. They might already know who their targets are. but it's still going to be expected to be a very exciting and close match.
And if you're watching back home, you can predict, maybe not the final result, but definitely the winner in the Twitch chat. That prediction has started, so if you want to get your predictions in early, you can do that. Any predictions from you? Any thoughts?
I predict it's going to be a very close and exciting game. I have had a chance to see both of these teams compete thus far. You know, somewhat similar play styles, I will say. Australia is very agile, hard to hit, great jumpers and dodgers. US has some pretty wicked arms on their side and phenomenal catchers, so I anticipate it being a neck and neck.
The good thing today, obviously, we've had no games as of yet, so they are both teams getting warmed up. It might be some fresh arms that we'll see a lot of in this game. Obviously, the names that we've seen a lot of from that US squad and taken a couple of the BK player of the matches in the tournament is that Justin Payan. That arm on that left side that he normally plays, the right side that he normally plays, that wing spot. Very
Casey
good from him.
Moses has also won the Beercade Player of the Match a couple of times in this tournament for some phenomenal catches and wins in a few of the games.
Yep. Australia also been very, they've been very consistent, and that's what you are always looking for in that tournament. Obviously, in this game, they've got to come out strong. We know what USA are like as soon as that whistle gets going. They've caught a couple of teams off guard in terms of how they normally come out. So Oz have to adapt to that very quickly. The better teams that have played up against USA have normally taken it very slow to start and just made sure that they're assessing the game before they start making any drastic judgments on how they play. Yesterday, when Australia played GB, they didn't actually make a full sub in that first half. I don't believe GB did either, but it's always very interesting to see. We have those timeouts in this variance. You have 2 times out per game, 1 per half.
Definitely, definitely. And again, for a lot of the people that might be tuning in for the first time today, if you are watching from the US, you're seeing a lot of familiar faces, but this might be the first time you're seeing some of these players ever touch a cloth ball. Cloth is relatively new to the US and also to Australia. Some of the players you're going to see on the Aussie side are switching over from foam. So this is a new ball type for a lot of these players, which is in a completely different rule set. And we'll do our best along the way to explain some of these unique rules if you are traditionally a foam player and how it's different with this mostly European ball type.
Yep, a couple of injuries have come throughout this tournament. The USA, I believe, number 70, Keller. Farrell, not Keller. I don't know where I even just made that name up from. I'm just giving her a nickname. But Farrell, obviously, she's picked up that break, but it is on her left hand. That's obviously not her dominant hand. Yep.
She also did have that injury actually coming into the tournament. She gained it at the training camp preparing for Worlds. Thankfully, it's just a finger sprain, but she does have it splinted, which is why she has an ace bandage wrapped around it. But even one hand down, she's been competing very well in this tournament and is expected to do some great things in this game.
So obviously we are in that different hall for today. It's in the main court here at the venue. And a very nice court at that. It obviously follows the same setup as all the other courts that we've had. That court displayed almost on that volleyball-like court. It then becomes a lot more accessible to teams or players that are looking to get into dodgeball.
Absolutely. Both teams lining up, getting ready to kick off the first of 6 bronze medal matches we will have here today.
We're almost there.
Both teams taking that high five before they start the game. It's always good to see that, obviously, smiles and high fives to start the game. We've seen it, though, that when that starting whistle goes, it's a completely different game face. and these teams will want to take that bronze medal match. It means so much for both of these countries.
And again, as mentioned, this is the first of 6 bronze medal matches that we will be playing back-to-back throughout the day, so do stay tuned for a lot of exciting dodgeball still to come.
Yep, United States versus Australia, obviously this is the one that's coming up right now. Then we've got Australia versus US again, but in the mixed foam. Then women's cloth is up with Italy, Australia, women's foam, Malaysia versus Australia, men's cloth, that United States versus Canada almost rematch that we saw earlier on in the tournament, and then the men's foam game to finish day 4, Hong Kong versus Canada.
So I am assuming we have a lot of Aussies and Americans listening in right now.
Welcome and good morning, everybody, from the WDBF World Championships in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. All of you have worked so hard to be here. These teams have worked so hard. I'm super excited for this match, this bronze medal match between Australia and the US. I'm going to need the audience to keep that up. Audience at home, you better be screaming at your TVs as well. Very excited to be here. We have a long, exciting day. Thank you so much for being here on behalf of WDBF and myself. Let's hear it for our teams. Let's go!
Jake Mason just making sure the crowd here and the crowd at home is ready and raring to go. The atmosphere will only build up as we go throughout the day. 40 minutes of dodgeball separates one of these teams from a bronze medal.
If one of these teams wants to go home with some new jewelry, they've got to make it work right now. And the crowd is already excited.
Both teams ready. That whistle underway. Russell picks up that centre ball. And the big hit starts them off. Oz go up. That one player to start this bronze medal match.
Spacer also making a hit on number 24 from Australia, Don Brown.
Yeah, a good hit from Spacer, just taking out Brown as he takes out Schmidt. Dent also taken out in that volley, so it is now evened up at both teams with 4. Make that 3 as Jenny Hodge heads to the outbox. So, like we said, USA down 1 player early on. McLean taken out by Spacer. Good hit from him, just in that area that just below where she likes to take those single ball catches.
So we are 3v3. Those who are watching perhaps for the first time today and unfamiliar with the cloth rules, these are 3-minute sets. You are able to see that on your screen at home. 20-minute halves, 3-minute sets. So a team has 3 minutes to either take out every player on the other side of the court or have more players on their side of the court at the end of the 3 minutes. The winner would then receive 2 points. The only way 1 point is awarded is if it is an even amount of players on either side. So right now with the US only having 2 players left in, they needed to at least tie it up, and they did it right there, taking out number 79 from Australia, Russell.
Yep, didn't have probably the greatest semi-final yesterday, didn't quite find his footing throughout the game. Has had a good start to that first set, obviously then taken out by Payan and Spacer. Tancredi and Patmore, the 2 players left in for Australia. Obviously that mixed category, the team's made up of 3 men and 3 women.
Spacer and Payan captains for the US cloth team. And no stranger to the world's floor.
Yeah, good block from Patmore. Obviously Payan's trying to put those pump fakes in, just making sure that he can predict her movement a little easier while she's in that mid-air dodge.
Does look like it is a clean block. Or looks like another ref is calling her out. We do have extra refs on the court today to make things as clear as possible. Thank you to all the refs who are volunteering over this week.
Patmore obviously unlucky, as Tancredi was hit out probably 10 to 15 seconds before that final set. So that first set going in the favour of USA. A win in a set will give you those 2 set points. That's the difference between cloth and foam. Obviously a tie in a set after those 3 minutes has finished will give both teams 1 set point each.
Nice hit by Team Australia, very accurate. Schmidt looking for a hit, not quite connecting. All 6 Australian players still left on the court.
And Schmidt doesn't find the catch. Those single balls, Schmidt, I would probably say, struggles to take at the back of the court. His more favoured position is high up in that neutral zone. You know, the track back, the tombstone style catch that we've seen plenty of times through this tournament so far. Dent with a fake, just pushes USA back. 2 players up early on in this set.
Beautiful dodge by Justin Payan. Good team throw by Australia. Smart move on their behalf, since Payan has done a great job of dodging and catching throughout these games. And hitting, apparently.
Smart dodgeball from USA there. They were those 2 players down, but a couple of smart hits from USA just gives them that tying status in this set so far. Tancredi unlucky to take that single ball catch. Power behind that arm from Spacia. And a nice dodge from McLean.
Nicole Chasen stepping off for the US. We are 3v3 on the court. Just about a minute left in the set clock. And Spacer with the hit, taking out number 11, Lauren McLean from Australia.
Spacia with a simple block. And a good hit out there. Patmore obviously hasn't got that ball in hand because their second ball at that time is a little further up the court. And obviously if you're looking to get that, you're going to be in an even worse position as Spacia's right in front of you. Oh, and a catch! He actually takes Payan out as well in that throw. He's just got to settle now.
What a swing of momentum. Was 3v1, all 3 players attacking for the US, but Dent able to take out both Payan and Spacer, leaving only Emily Farrell left on the court from the United States.
Oh, Dent, very good dodgeball from him. We've seen what he can deliver at this tournament, and you've just seen it there. Night mode dodgeball, not a variant in this.
Not sure if you guys can hear us at home. We do believe we lost power in the gym.
I don't know if that's gonna work or not.
Yeah, I don't think they can hear us because we lost internet. At least in the middle of a match. Really? Yeah, we're gonna do that. You just want me to like talk into it? Testing. 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 For those listening at home, we do apologize. We actually lost power in the entire building, so we're working on getting the lights back on. Internet is still rolling, so we can keep you guys updated verbally as we are getting everything set back up on the court. Only emergency generator lights are on right now. Thankfully, we were in between sets, so it was not mid-ball game.
That's not quite a play that can happen. You don't have the activation night mode. Like you said, Australia do end up winning that set. So it is 2 sets apiece. We will just wait for that power to come on. Teams will have to make sure that they're keeping warm.
We have stopped the game for those who are in the Twitch channel, pausing until the power's back on. Want to make sure we are playing as safe as possible. You guys are not missing any minutes of dodgeball at home, we promise. Teams are taking advantage of this moment, huddling back up. They have a couple sets under their belt.
That's something I've never seen before.
This is a first. I do believe this would be a first at the world stage. And it's not just our gym, it's actually the entire building that we're in. So a little out of our hands, unfortunately. Oh, get to see our outfits here soon, Greg.
That was the only reason I dressed up. I knew this moment was going to come. I knew the power was going to go out.
Greg and I were prepared.
I'm not sure how good the outfits are going to look in almost pitch black.
Not you put it here.
That's what people have really come to when dodgeball isn't being played. They'll have to watch us instead. Maybe not as exciting as the bronze between USA and Australia, but plenty more dodgeball to come. The start of day 4 has got off to a very interesting one.
Very interesting start. At least we're taking care of this at the top of the day. But you get to see Greg and I. Hopefully we can entertain you for as long as possible. Here we are.
I'm not sure that's the greatest lighting I've ever seen.
It's maybe not the greatest lighting.
They can see your white outfit, and
that's about it. Not doing our outfits justice. I must say, Greg has a lovely bow tie on, matching his trousers.
Why is this now turning into
a fashion show? Well, there's not much else they can see here at the moment. Maybe we could open up to the chat at home. Can you guys, for anyone who's watching throughout the last 3 days, can you guys give us a highlight? What was your favorite catch, hit, moment of the game that you would like to share, that you were able to catch over the last 3 days, and maybe we can relive some of the amazing dodgeball we've seen since last Wednesday? What was one of your favorite moments, Greg?
I was just about to ask you the same thing, just so I could think more about mine. Interesting. Billy Schmidt, I believe, a man that is 6'8", and to tombstone that much in a tournament and take several catches under his belt is fairly impressive. I was just about to say I'm 6 foot and I can't do that, but I'd be lying. I won't tell you what part, either the 6 foot or me making a catch, but
I'm going to say one of my favorite moments over the last 3 days is just seeing new players from different countries that we've never had a chance to see on the WDBF stage before. New countries coming in and seeing such strong athletes. I think one of my favorite countries to watch has been the women's French cloth team. They are only 16, 17, 18 years old. They're amazing athletes. They are going to grow so much over the next few years. They're small, they're fast, they're agile, and they can grip these large cloth balls. If you've never held a cloth ball before, it's about 8 inches in diameter. It's larger than a foam ball, and not as easy to grip, and they're just been phenomenal to watch.
Greg is actually standing up at the moment. Wow. those nice Twitch comments coming in already. Do you know what? That's what I woke up for this morning.
I think we're just killing air at this point for our 260 live watchers.
Thank you for still keeping on the stream.
Yes. We can give a shout out to a few of our sponsors for this tournament. Beercade, we will be putting up a poll later for the Beercade player of the match. Beercade is where our after party will be tomorrow night, and they've been gracious enough to donate gift certificates for each player of the match throughout the tournament. Edmonton Transportation System, the city of Edmonton has been amazing and so helpful throughout all of these games, and the transportation system has been sponsoring with shuttles from the airport to the venue for all of the athletes. Quality Foods has helped provide food for all of the many, many volunteers that have been here over the last several days.
Maybe that could be the emergency light. And a couple of people, when the lights did go out, decided to get their phone lights out.
Yep.
It was almost like a concert.
It was like a concert.
Probably not the safest court to play on, lit up by iPhone and Android lights, but
probably not. Probably we're not going to let them do that. We don't want any turned ankles or knees. When is the next Worlds?
2 years' time.
2 years' time. It'll be 2024. When it'll land in 2024, I do believe is up for debate or is still being decided.
Rumours floating about, of course.
Sorry?
There are rumours floating
there
about.
There are rumours. There are rumours. Nothing that we should probably announce on air. But 2024, every 2 years, we'll have the opportunity to see these amazing athletes perform at the world stage.
Everyone talking a little bit about some injuries. That's probably another good question to ask. Any gruesome dodgeball injuries?
I think there was one major injury at this tournament.
If there was a category further than major, I'd probably put it under that.
Yeah. We're live on air. We're live on air at the Bronze Medal Games without any power at the moment. So we are killing some time while we figure out the electrical issues.
Multiple media channels, live for Twitch, obviously on Instagram as well.
But yes, for the question at home, there was one significant injury for one of the Swedish men's players. I wasn't there to see it, but I understand he landed on his arm.
No, he didn't even land. He threw through. It was a
Ouch.
throw.
Ow.
Yeah. I believe as he's sort of planted his leg and he's gone to throw that ball, it's a clean break on his humerus, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah.
He did go to the hospital. He's in a pretty significant cast, waiting to fly back to Sweden to have surgery. But he's still here and in great spirits. Let's give a special shout out to him. I do believe he's here this morning as well.
A lot of people talking about that mixed category. First time at Worlds. Obviously Cloth the first time at Worlds also. A a lot of these countries have played mixed or co-ed if you come from the rest of the world. I believe, do you call it mixed here as well, or mostly?
We call it both. I think a co-ed is the most common term in the States, at least. But I think we understand what mixed means. If you say it, we'll understand it.
Yeah, and that's what we were about to explain. That in Europe, for a very long time, mixed has been almost one of the main categories. It's somewhat the best way to introduce new players into dodgeball.
Yep. We do play mixed at the national level in the United States, so our nationals has the mixed division, 3 men, 3 women on the court. It's just not been a part of WDBF World Stage until this year, and I'm honestly thrilled that it's a new category. I think it's made for some really fantastic dodgeball.
Have Bill and Greg taken a DNA test yet? Apparently we're twins. Literally, I think every day someone has either said, do I have an American brother, or called me Bill. I think the first day I walked across the Delta car park and some of the Americans said, hey Bill, and I carried on walking and they were like, that's not Bill. And that is correct, I am not Bill. But we've never been seen in the same spot. So I think the scenario that will be happening is the stream will be resetting just until we wait for full power. So you can hang around obviously in the Twitch chat and still talk to each other.
Yeah, so we will, we'll make sure to announce in the Twitch chat. So if you're watching at home, just do keep it up. We should be, back as soon as the power comes back on. So do stay tuned. We're just needing to shut down our laptops to conserve power and make sure we're not overheating, so that we can have, because we still have a lot more dodgeball to play today.
A lot more dodgeball, and a couple of questions maybe we can answer before, or we'll answer as we come back on air, because the computer will be shutting down, so we'll see you very shortly.
Very shortly.